Hey everyone, it's Alfred here today, and today I'd like to do a little post in regards to, how you can have everything you desire while keeping your wealth. Now, this is, I would say, a very, simple but very powerful concept that, I would love to share with everyone. And essentially, it's how, I would say, the rich get richer and how they keep their current wealth. So think about that for a moment. Have everything you desire while keeping your wealth. So I would say, some of your initial thoughts would be, how's that even possible? How can I, keep my wealth while growing it and still be able to buy things? I want to know, and how can I do that, right? So it actually is very simple. It actually all boils down to passive income and leverage. So, which I will obviously discuss in great detail in my future posts. But of course, I won't let anybody, leaving behind everything, so to speak, right? So I'll share with you just kind of a quick example of how I always tell my clients. So let's say, for example, there was a car that you wanted to purchase that was $20,000. So, there are a couple of ways you can do it. The ways I'm listing here are, I'll say, just some of the more popular ways, but obviously there's multiple ways you can obtain one. So, for example, you could use $20,000 of your own money, and you can buy it right away, right? You could then also borrow $20,000, and I guess maybe pay interest on the $20,000 you borrowed. You could also lease or even finance the car with monthly payments. So I'm sure, as you guys have all realized, with every method that I've just mentioned here, or every option rather, it basically essentially involves either giving up the $20,000 or making monthly payments in order to get the car. Now, I guess here's where the fun part, magic, or the big picture moment kind of comes into play. So let's just say, for ease of illustration, say if you were to finance, lease, or pay interest payments for the car, it would be $400 a month. So what you could do is, instead of using the $20,000 to buy the car, which would mean that you've lost the $2,000 right away and have bought in a depreciation asset, you instead now take that $2,000 and invest in something that earns you $400 or more passive income. So obviously something that covers the interest payments, the lease, or the financing of that car. So these could be things such as real estate, businesses, paper assets, just to kind of name a few. So this way, you would essentially keep the $20,000 by investing into something that generates you passive income, which then in turn allows you to get your car free, so to speak. And on top of that, you're still essentially maintaining and growing your wealth. So this is essentially, I would say, how a lot of successful individuals keep increasing their wealth while maintaining what they currently have. So I would say essentially it's almost like a shifting of assets, or kind of relocating your wealth, so to speak. And I would say it's essentially a very extremely powerful and simple method. So remember, this doesn't have to apply to just cars. In fact, you can apply to anything, right? So it could be like you can do this for paper assets that provide you with passive income, and then you use this to cover expenses, like normal expenses, such as your gas, your food, your cell phone, just your everyday bills. Like for me, for example, I use my real estate investments that create passive income, and I use that to cover part of my car. And then I also use these investments from businesses and real estate. I also use them to pay for mortgage payments or loans to obtain even more business and real estate. So essentially, I'm just kind of, I would say, relocating assets, just like I was mentioning earlier. So I'm sure you can kind of all realize it's kind of like a snowball effect, because it does kind of grow exponentially. So, I mean, honestly, the approaches are very endless. It's really just limited just to your imagination. So, of course, everyone, definitely please comment below and share success stories. I definitely would love to hear from you all. Thanks so much.